I know, I was trying to get my coffee done. Junk, you're up early too. Hey, Created and Foggy Bottom Boys. I'm gonna do 8 tracks this morning. If you were anxiously awaiting a whole bunch of cassettes, I'm gonna do those this afternoon. Yes, Butterfly suggested that. I usually try to listen to Butterfly suggestions. Plus, I already had 2 boxes of 8 tracks out in the hall, so yeah. Butterflies. Oh, my coffee thing isn't working. Um, yeah, so if anybody's here, nobody's here for cassettes or 8 tracks. How long did you watch him last night, Bishy? Tease some. Yeah, he's a pretty good seller. He doesn't do it too much. I don't think he does e-commerce for like a living or anything. Um, yeah, see, that's what I don't know whether I should sort the stuff and then have shows of stuff that I have a lot better chance of selling, or whether I should just do what I'm doing. As long as I don't get too distracted, um, this this seems to go okay as far as the speed of sorting. Oh, it's okay for the Backstreet Boys now. It just wasn't okay 25 years ago. Somebody was playing Britney Spears on one of the things the other day. Okay, I'm gonna start. Yes, I did. I had to go to my computer, that's why I was late. Actually, um, it wouldn't open on the. You can't click it on the messages, so I had to go and copy and paste it into the browser. I did. I did not. I did not watch it. I literally opened it at about 6:29 and was trying to get the coffee, and it's pulled up on my browser. I assume it's just me selling that one. I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope it brings romance back into your marriage if it was lacking romance, and maybe you'll learn some new things. I haven't listened to that particular one. Hey, Boston fan, are you here for 8 tracks? Oh, there's some without the black dots too. There's some nasty ones. Nobody's here for 8 tracks, Boston fan. I have to build my own audience. Black Ops is probably here for 8 tracks. I should do a poll on these. Do you know what an 8 track is? Or have you ever actually had any real life interaction with 8 tracks? Oh, we sold an ACDC the other day. And I think there might be one or two Kiss in the auction tab. I'm kind of sorting stuff as I go. There's one double platinum twos in there. Uh, oh, eBay's full of players. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start ripping through these as I read the chat. I guess I'm going to go until about 7:30 when Butterfly calls and just call it a day, and then come back and sell cassettes later. It didn't look like Ohio had a show scheduled. In fact, hardly anybody that I follow has a show scheduled. Yeah, I kept waiting for them to come back in style, and it hadn't happened. I'm gonna run those. I'm sure the bidding war will ensue. Mac Davis, Andre Kostelanitz, Eddie Rabbit, and Guy and Rauna. Bishy, there's no need to mod, but thank you. I need you to stand outside somehow with one of those spinny signs and get people in here. Another Kostelanitz, Ray Conniff, Souvenirs, Dale Evans singing gospel, and Jimmy Swaggart. And those are running. I kept trying to get on our slow days during our sales. I kept trying to get Joe to get a Tyrannosaurus outfit and go down to the intersection by the stoplight and try to flag people in. She wasn't interested in doing that. I don't know why. They never texted me to gloat after the election. I figured they would be harassing me. Couple Andy Williams up there. Come on, everybody, Elvis. And Elvis, I got lucky. Hey, Mackenzie, are you here for 8 tracks? So is Minnie Bish just being unemployed now since she reached her income limit for the year? I can't give up. If you, because I don't know what I'm going to do with them if I don't. I got hundreds of thousands of these things. Oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna wake Mr. Bishop. Burt Bacharach, Bobby Vinton, and other Fonzie favorites, Neil Sedaka. Well, see, there you go, Bishy. See, the thing is, like, Bishy was watching that other guy selling cassettes last night. I mean, he wasn't making a fortune. He was selling them for whatnot prices, dirt cheap. Um, at least for historically what they normally would sell for. I think he sold a Pink Floyd The Wall, like an import, for like $8 or something. Um, but he had them all sorted out, so all he had was rock. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I should take the time to just sort them out and then have shows that are more whatever, or just keep doing this. And you guys keep enabling me by showing up at 3 in the morning. That's the plan, Bishy. But I want to get my shelves so they don't look so horrible. Hey, jewelry galore. We do not have jewelry galore today. We have 8 tracks, which are so much better than jewelry. Sinatra and Company, Billy Joel, Olivia Newton-John, and Johnny Mathis with Ray Conniff. I'm really hoping Butterfly comes home and sees the mess over there in the shelves and is just like, oh, I should alphabetize these. I don't know. I wish you could turn them into something. It is still completely dark out, and there's snow on the ground. The school buses are out there. The school buses turn around in my driveway. I've got vans that pick up. I'll I'll put that on my list of things to do, Bishy. I'll find some big gaudy chain necklace and well, I need more hot glue sticks. Statler Brothers, Dean Martin, Willie Nelson, Donna Summer. I was going to order some yesterday just so I had them. And there's different sizes. So I have to go and measure my hot glue gun. Okay, Junk. Dave Mason. This one's he's got a kitty on his lap. Mormon Tabernacle Choir Christmas one. I don't. She's coming home somewhere tonight, Bishy. George Shearing, Blue Moon, and Arthur Fiedler. She doesn't. I don't think she knows yet whether she's coming here or going to her house and then coming here tomorrow, or maybe coming later tonight. She wants to bring more stuff. They're starting to go through withdrawal. They were both on my lap last night, which is the first time all week that Lucy has climbed up on my lap. He'll sleep with me, but he has not been climbing up on my lap. It's about an hour away. Well, hour and a half. It depends on how fast you drive. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Bishy. when my ex was accusing me of having an affair, I mean, well, Butterfly was staying in Pittsburgh at the time with her daughter and helping take care of her granddaughter. And that was 2.5 hours away. But yeah, her house is like an hour and a half away. It's like I was sneaking out at night. It's not like she just lived down the road. Elvis, Christmas, Sinatra Cycles, Ray Conniff, and a jazz album. Hey, Posse, are you here for 8 tracks? Nobody else is. You are. Well, I'm just flipping through them and sorting them. If you see something you want, there's coupon codes in the link in my show notes. And I have a rewards club, so you can get them for very little amounts of money if you actually come back to some of my auctions. Got tons of them to go through. Marty Robbins, the Hollies, Mac Davis, and Jerry Lee Lewis wearing his tinted glasses. Yeah, those are running. Yeah, it was moving over here. It was different than the last time I'd seen him. I hadn't seen his shows for a while. I watched some of his shows the first couple times I had cassette shows, and he was giving me some advice, and they were a little bit different. Music Box Melodies, Henry Mancini and Doc Severinsen and Elvis, and Edgar Winter Group's Shock Treatment. He goes into all that testing and all that stuff. I mean, it's people like stuff to work, but I mean, 95% of these 8 tracks need refurbished. It's just any 8 track you find anywhere needs refurbished. And a lot of the cassettes need pressure pads. And if they don't work, like if that one he was having trouble with, I don't know if you were watching it when he stuck the Pink Floyd in and it was kind of garbled. To fix it, it's a lot of work to sell something for $3. So I'm also torn about that too. It's like, should I do you test them and try to get more money, or do you just sell them like they are? Or do you just sit here and talk to Bishy and not sell anything? The thing is, you can't. There's no possible way. I mean, it'd be pointless to test the 8 tracks. See, like that one has the pads in there, but those are actually staying. I can't dig them off. Looking Glass, Lost Horizon soundtrack, Burt Bacharach, and another Arthur Fiedler. Yeah, and that's if yes, what? Yes, you're agreeing with Bishy, or you? I don't know. Wait. So Boston fans a seller. I won't say who it is because I can't remember because it was yesterday. But I was watching somebody sell CDs, and they had a rewards program, and they were selling CDs for $1. And their rewards program is if you spent $15, you got $1 off one time. And then the silver uh, level one, it doesn't tell you what you have to do to get there unless you get to the bronze level. But it was for $1 off one time. Yeah, Boston fan. I pretty much question my life choices on a daily basis with whatnot. Raycon of Charlie Rich, another Charlie Rich, and Terry Baxter. There's some things you can sell on here that you can liquidate and it'll move faster than you could ever move it anywhere else. You'll still get crap money for it, but and then there's times you have ridiculously cool stuff on here and nobody will even care. And I think one of the biggest problems is there's no way for people to really find the stuff. The auctions, I don't think a lot of people search, and you can tell the people that search when you have shows and they come in and they scoop up the good stuff, and they don't hang around for the other stuff. Arthur Fiedler, some sort of Reader's Digest compilation. Letterman and Peter Nero. Yeah, in Boston, I was telling them the other day, I got an iPad so I could multi-stream. So hello to everyone on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. There's nobody there. But since I did that, I downloaded District. Because you can't, I always had an Android and it doesn't work worth crap on there. You have to go through a browser to use District. And, which they said during the thing I attended that now they do have an app. But the guy during the orientation, I signed up to be a community where you could build your own district, and the guy that was trying to sell everybody on it said that you should be able to get comps are better for everything you sell, just like Crazy Lamp Lady. Carpenter's Sinatra, My Fair Lady soundtrack, and aerobic dancing. I'll have to see what I'm going to do next summer as far as the flea market type stuff. I will have to see what Butterfly thinks. If I never did another flea market, I don't think I'd be too awful upset. But where I moved to, there's one of the biggest flea markets anywhere around our area. You got to go about 100 miles in either direction to get to a flea market other than the one that's 5 miles from here. Paranoid? Am I paranoid? Arthur Fiedler, Moody Blues, Ray Conniff, and Al Hurt showing too much affection to his trumpet. Bob Dylan, Pat Garrett, and Billy the Kid soundtrack. Jim Croce. Do I have Black Sabbath Paranoid? Not where I can grab it. Brad Swanson and John Denver, Farewell Andromeda. If you're still here, Mason, does it ever work going into shows asking people if they have a specific thing? Do you ever find somebody that says, "Oh yeah, let me grab it"? Really? I've been doing this for 2 years, and I've only ever had one time somebody come in and I just happen to have something just right there. I've had people ask if I had stuff that's in my auction tab that they didn't even look at, but I get people asking for stuff all the time. But only once have I ever had something right there where I could grab it. I'm I'm glad it works for you though. So at least you're accomplishing something. Philadelphia Orchestra, Swan Lake, Boots Randolph, Yakety Sax, and Danny Davis, and Myron Florin, Polka. Shh, she might come on. Like I said, I'm not going to ask her to do it. I don't want to do it, and I don't want her to feel that I need her to. But she really did say that she kind of enjoyed the alphabetizing of the DVDs, which I would not have enjoyed. I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands of them. Hey, Ohio. Good morning. Chuck Wagon Gang, John Conley rose-colored glasses in a fancy-dancy orange case, Charlie Daniels Band, and Henry Mancini. I need to put labels on my shelves over here so I don't get confused. What you doing today, Ohio? Bruce Springsteen, Ray Conniff, stupid Reader's Digest ones, and film themes. Drink my coffee alarm. Did it snow? My ground is covered in snow. I was enjoying it being 60 degrees in November. Sinatra, George Gershwin, Priscilla Coolidge Jones, and Ray Charles singers. And that's running. Bishy, in the afternoons, I on Libtard, the Libtard station I listen to. The guy that has the show is in Oregon, and whatever he says the weather is over there, it's usually that way here in about 5 days. What kind of genre is Priscilla Coolidge Jones? Anybody know? What Junk Collector say? Oh, shut up, Junk. I don't think you can. I don't think you can see it. Oh, you can see a little bit. It's snowy out there. I told Frank I was going to come live at her house for the winter. I don't know. Did I already put those up there? She said she doesn't have a very big place, and I said I just live in my box truck. Oh, I don't know. I'm not for much for hanging out with other people, but I've seen her yard, and I think I can handle that for the winter. The Ragtimers with a sexy cowboy with a rose coming out of her butt, sitting on a piano while somebody plays the piano while smoking a cigarette with a beer on the side of it. That's an interesting one. Duke Ellington, Danny Davis, Super Songs. It would lower my cost of living if I didn't have to heat this place. Of course, if my heater's not working, I'm not paying anything to heat it, so. Eddie Condon and his jazz orchestra, Dean Martin bootleg, Elvis, and there's two of those that nobody's going to want, so I'm just going to stick them there. Good morning, Saratoshi. Are you interested in 8 tracks? No, no one is. But thanks for stopping in. You've got a crown. You must have been here before for something. Have you guys that are sellers, have you decided, are you changing up your rewards program, or are you just saying screw it altogether? It's a freshen up gum advertising one. Your personal selections. Wonder how you got that. You probably had to like send in gum labels with looks like it was printed on the back at one point. Like you chose the album or the songs to put on the album. Bishy, just send me a message with what you want, what colors you want. Of all the ones I've done, I've only done one blue one, I think, and one yellow or two yellow ones. Just send me a message with what you want, and I'll get you something. So more Eddie Condon jazz, Chicago, Arthur Fiedler. What are you gonna do with them? I wish I was entertaining enough for it to be lucrative. I'm poor. I lost $105 on the election. I I went to Robinhood and I put $105 on Harris to win. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Loretta Lynn, Roy Clark, Andy Williams, and Tony Bennett rocking a turtleneck. I, I I thought it was a sure thing. In the past few years, he's been convicted of like 34 felonies that were there was I mean the felonies were for throwing the election or for trying to throw the election. He was adjudicated a rapist and he had to pay like $80 million to that woman in New York. No, I didn't place a bet in the Tyson fight, and I didn't watch it either. I'll have to at some point. Hey, butterfly. And junk, you know the thing is, if I'd have taken that $100 and put it into Doge, I'd have had like $500 instead of nothing. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Very rarely. They do. The 4 tracks, which I'd be willing to wager nobody here knows what a 4-track is or has ever seen one. A lot of those came in green. Polka Parties, Lawrence Welk, and Dean Martin. Yeah, and the ones that do come in green are probably goofy off-brand bootlegs. I think some of it probably had to do with like the chemistry of plastic or something, and the colors. Because the 4 tracks were before 8 tracks, and a lot of those were green, but then they didn't carry over. I'm just rambling to kill time, Bishy. Sorry for the useless information. Andy Williams, Bobby Vinton, and Sky 3. I don't know what that is. Oh, I've got VHS too. I've got, yeah, I won't talk about that. I don't even think I'm going to try the VHS. Dawn came in to my Thanksgiving show and placed some pre-bids. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Now everybody's going to bid her up. Uh, so somebody actually went to it and checked it out. Sell the covers. Look for cards. Larry Martin at the Hammond organ. George Morgan, Chuck Berry, and Freddie Fender. That guy made a fortune off of that album. Ohio, I said before you got here I was gonna just go till about 7:30 because Butterfly will probably be calling and you didn't have a show scheduled. The Freddie Fender one? I love my Rancho Grande. At, over the years, it's one of the. I mean, I probably had more of those than almost any other album. He must have sold a ton of them. Kristen's going on at 7:25. Well, then we shall rate out at 7:25. All right, sounds good. I'm almost through what I had out here anyway. That's right. Hank Williams, Johnny Horton, The Raiders, and Neil Diamond Gold. And I already got my packaging done this morning, so I guess after this I'll try to tackle the listing of stuff on Whatnot again and see if I can get it to work with the pictures the right way. I did get an email from Whatnot, and they said that they were ready to consider the case closed because they hadn't heard back from me after they sent me their canned response telling me to clear my cache and restart my browser. Yes, I'm in Pennsylvania. So, Love Story soundtrack, Lynn Anderson, Barry Manilow, and the Rod Stewart album. I'm sure my blood pressure just spikes when I get one of their emails like that. We're ready to consider this case closed. It's like you didn't do anything except have an automated canned response that you sent to me. See, I got to get selling, and I got to find something that actually sells so I can reach a premier store or whatever they're called now that they just started having. But you got to have you got to sell $50,000 worth of stuff in 3 months, and since I haven't sold for 2 months, that probably won't be happening. But I wanted to get that Premier store because I want to see if they give you. They're supposed to have like extra support, I guess. Chris Christopherson and Rita Coolidge, Andy Williams, another Sky album. Yeah, I'll start having Sunday. I'm gonna have a antique type show, and I'll be working on having some more of those. I just got to do a bunch of these so that I can force myself to get through some of them to get stuff out on the shelves so I can know where some stuff's at. What genre is Sky? Anybody know? Well, I'm completely open to other days if you have suggestions, jump. I'm I'm pretty much hunkering down for the winter and trying to liquidate the stuff I have because, like I said, it's mostly in boxes and not real easy to get to. I'll try to start mixing it up some, since apparently there's a few of you that are willing to get up at ridiculous times. Alice Cooper, Jesse Winchester, Ambrosia, and the Silver Strings. That's quite the array of genres there. Is that why I was doing it on Sunday? I don't really remember why I started doing them on Sundays. I don't know. The sleeping on the couch while she watched westerns and her dad slept in a chair was more fun than whatnot. Oh, you're just saying that, Butterfly. That's not why I did it. Orleans, Jay Ferguson, Jesse Colin Young, and another Alice Cooper. If you're interested in a large version of that picture, I do have that album sealed in my buy now. Very affectionate group of guys. Bishy says Wicked Cherry, orgy for sure. Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon for what? For just antique type stuff, or we will see. I was gonna do cassettes later. I gotta see what Butterfly's doing. I won't know when she's gonna be back or if she'll be back until because she doesn't know how long her thing lasts. It's supposed to last till 5, but sometimes I get out early. But I may do cassettes later, or I thought maybe about doing like some sort of ephemera pop up or something. I've got them in quantity. Should I just send Sherry one? So Neil Young, Don McLean, Lawrence Welk, and Charlie Rich. Sherry, did you see the 8-track that she bought last night? I don't have that on vinyl that I know of. I only wished I had an 8-track player so we could have tested it. I'm going to have to find one in case I find more things that we just have to test. What did Butterfly say? No, don't do that, Butterfly. If you shaved your head, you would love it, and then you would never grow your hair back. Chicago, Johnny Mathis and Barbara Streisand. And we're going to rate out to, where are we going? Kristen? Is that who Ohio said? You love Chicago. They were prolific. How many albums did they have? They had a ton of them. Well, if you ever decide to shave your head, make sure you make a bun first and have them whack it off so I can save your bun. Put it under a little glass dome on my desk next to my little paperweight flower with your picture in it. So John Denver, Tony Orlando, and Dawn, Wayne Newton, and the Osmonds. I keep telling myself it's gonna help with the algorithms. I had this old antique dealer buddy. He died, but when I started out, I kind of hung out with him at auctions and flea markets and stuff. And he didn't do anything online. And I'd list some of the stupidest shit on my website. And back then, it was really simple to list things on your website. You didn't have to do all these item specifics like you do now on eBay. And the reason eBay requires all those item specifics is because that's how they categorize it in Google. And that you can't show up in Google if you don't have all those item specifics. So back in the day, 20 years ago, you could just stick on your 8-track Ray Conniff, Alone Again Naturally, and people that searched for a Ray Conniff 8-track would find it. And he always made fun of me for listing the stupidest, cheapest stuff, which I could list like hundreds of things a day when all you had to do was a picture and a title. And I always said it's keywords. And so every time he saw me buy something or pick something up, He just would shake his head and say keywords, keywords. But back then, uh, the website I had for antiques, I was getting, I think, like 50,000 visits a month just organically. But that was before everybody had a phone, and back then there weren't so many websites. I need to reassess my hope and that the algorithms are gonna be nice to me. Hey, junk in the trunk. You're not looking for 8-tracks, are you? You came just in time. We're gonna raid out to Kristen. Is she on? Everybody already left to see her. Peter Nero. Tammy Wynette. Nice hair in that one. 55 original hits. And Neil Diamond, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Has anybody seen that movie? All right, let's get out of here. The butterfly's like, thank God. What? I don't know her name. What is it? Kristen Lewis? Kristen Louie? Is that the Kristen you're talking about? Oh, you have seen it. You'll have to tell me about it at some point. Butterfly, you have a crown. You must have watched me enough. Thank you guys for coming and participating in that. I'm going to raid out to Kristen right now. Have a good day, guys. See you, Sherry.